just want to say to all you motherfuckers out there, don't fake the funk and it's not right to steal soul.
Sweet baby fucking Jesus. My apologies.
It's not right.
Every time I say to myself, don't update the software, it always fucks it when you update the software. But that little bastard thing in the top right hand corner has been going, why don't you update to the new one? Come on, update. What's it fucking called? A piece of shit. Moav. macOS Moav. Do yourself a favour. Don't update. Brad in the chat says, turn it off and on again is the advice he gives to all his clients. He's a clinical psychologist. Well, it depends what you mean by psychologist. Oh, God. Oh, baby Jesus. Oh, save me, baby Jesus. Please, please. Well, it looks like we're okay now. Thank all the lobsters in heaven.
We just want to say to all you motherfuckers out there, don't fake the funk and it's not right to steal soul.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it is 15 minutes past 10. I'm late for class. I've tried to sneak in at the back with no homework, with my school jacket all covered in meow meow, with my little short shorts, my little schoolboy short shorts, all covered in piss and other bodily fluids, excrement. What are you doing at the back, they're saying? What are you doing at the back? You're a 34-year-old man dressed up as a schoolboy, covered in legal highs. How did you get past security? What are you doing in here? I run down the corridors, I fall over. Somehow my short shorts fall down round my ankles, and I land in a puddle of farmyard shite that for some reason is in the middle of a school hallway. I come to, realising that I'm having a bad dream, a stress dream, a nightmare. And I wake up and I'm here. And thank God, thank Jesus, thank Muhammad, thank Jah, thank them all for coffee and memes.
Steady job and a couple extra potatoes, that's all I want.
You're getting on, you're pushing 30, Slugger. You know, it's time to think about getting some ambition.
I always figured I'd live a little bit longer without it.
Don't forget, kid, that what you're trying to do here is to be bright and chipper and entertaining and intelligent and sort of glitzy, and that's funny, and it's kind of cool, and it's interesting, and it's edgy, and all of that. It puts that facade of momentary charisma on you, and if you don't play that out, you actually fail.
Ladies and gentlemen of the flat earth, hello and welcome to Coffee and Memes. It is, oh God, I don't even know what day of the fucking week it is. We've come in late, stuff's broken, updates haven't updated shit, or they've updated and made it worse. That's what always happens with technology. They only make things worse. Have you tried pressing pause and rewinding on a Blu-ray? Takes about 2 fucking years. Every time you press a button, you gotta wait 10 minutes for it to do anything. It's ridiculous. VHS was instant. Anyway, I'm razzed up. I'm full of too many coffees, dingers, crushed up dingers in the coffee. Basically what you do is you get your syrups, your sort of plunger style syrups. Then you get all your little dingers and that light, and you crush them up into a tiny wee little thing of all crushed up dingers and that, and you put them into your syrup and your coffees, and you stir it up. And then in the morning, when you wake up in the morning, you can squash a couple of them into your coffee and you'll be all dinged up for the next couple of hours and that like. You're damn right. Right, look, we've got some fucking wild shit to get through. We've got some wild tunes to spin. Oh, some potential shoe throwers. Fuck it, let's just get straight into the shoe throwers. This is like why are we wasting everybody's time here? I've already wasted 15 minutes of your lives. You know, you could have been whining and dining a woman. You could have been, I don't know, you could have sellotaped your hands to the wall to try and make sure that you don't cheat on No Nut November. How's everyone doing with that? 6 days in now. Oh, things are getting pretty. My palms are sweating. Knees weak. We've got vomit on the sweater already. Mum's pasta. It's a thing. It's real. The No Nut November struggle is real. This might help though. This is Wall of Death by Bacteria, remixed by Trace. Start loosening your laces now, boys. That's all I'm saying.
Lobsters.
Ah. So we should probably name this lobster. I mean, the obvious choice is Larry, but I think that's kind of a bit played out, really, a bit obvious. I'm all G'd up, I'm having a derobe. Alright, so far Chippy the Chipper Lobster, Pinger the Lobster, or Alan. Alright. Still accepting suggestions. This is a nice bit of gear. This is by Bacteria, remixed by Trace. It's called Wall of Death. We could call him Jordan B. Lobster. All right. It's all sorts of fuckery today. Now I've got the music and the samples
Lobsters.
coming out of the same machine, which means I can't turn them up and down independently. What do you think about that?
It's appalling.
Yeah, see what I mean. So, all right, current leaders for the name of the lobster. Thinking Keith, I do like Brent or Jordan B. Lobster. Vote now. On Facebook live stream, you can do vote. You can make little polls and vote, and that's a cool story, isn't it? Anyway, look, let's just get into some of this fucking madness, and then we can all go back to our wives. Okay, Bishop says he can make man's penises larger by massaging them. I do not doubt that for a second. Bishop Daniel Obenim has claimed that he can make men's penises larger by massaging them. Massaging the men's groin using his hands. He's also said that he can make women's breasts larger by massaging them too. Yeah. I have no doubt about this. I just would doubt whether or not it's due to the sort of healing powers of Jesus, of Yeezy, the healing powers of Yeezy. I mean, maybe it's a possibility if Kanye, the big Yee money, came down and, you know, maybe he gave everyone free Yeezys. That might make people's penis bigger. It's possible. I mean, it's probably more possible than God doing it. Church and State reported, in a scene broadcast on his own channel, Obenim TV, the bishop says, if you do not like the look of any part of your body, come to me. What do you want that I can't offer? Probably lots of things. If you want big buttocks, I can do it for you. If you want big taddies, I can help. If you have a small manhood, I can change them all when I come to the spiritual realm. Yes. Okay. Bishop Obenim, who founded the International God's Way Church in Ashanti region of Ghana, has been criticised for his controversial practices before. In August, he was filmed whipping teenagers while accusing them of being sexually promiscuous. He is now facing charges over the incident. You mean that's questionable, especially considering teenagers are not as sexually promiscuous as they used to be now that they have smartphones and avocado toast to be getting through. It goes on to say here, while we know that religion is a scam, well, I mean, technically it could be true. We don't know. It's unlikely, but it's not 100%. We can't be 100% certain that it's untrue. I mean, to be that certain about anything, you would know better than the religious zealots that you're criticising. Hey, someone I'm saying.
Lobsters.
It feels like this takes about 3 steps further. For one, you're lying to people about your religion, being it knowingly or intentionally, or if you believe that the religion is true. But what's more is that you're using one lie to justify another. So there's a good video on here of him. Sadly, it doesn't have any sound. Basically, it's a man in quite a snappy blue suit going around a group of gentlemen and just cupping them. Just a little cup of the balls. Here, have big dick. Here, have bigger dick. Here, big dick. Big dick, big dick, big dick, big dick, big dick, big dick, big dick. pretty cool. I mean, imagine if it was true. I mean, that geezer from yesterday would have saved himself $3,000 in a painful injection. And from the sounds of it, he can actually increase the length rather than just the girth. And that, I mean, you want a bit of a combination of both, because the last thing you need is a spaghetti peen, but you also don't want a pie willy. Yeah, a lot of he's doing it a lot. He missed one guy out. I know, he's doing two at a time. Two-handed. Whoa, that's a lot of cupping. Wow. He's a real hero, I would say. And the fact that he doesn't appear to be charging for it. He's just doing it out of the goodness of his heart, because he is a man of God after all. So he's obviously a decent guy. I remember getting some scam emails a while ago that opened with the line, like, I am a man of God, so that you know I am trustworthy. Okay, yeah. I mean, it might as well say, I'm a male feminist, so that you know I am trustworthy. I mean, he probably is as well. I mean, he's out there. He's out there doing the Lord's work, and you can't criticise a man doing the Lord's work, can you? Who knows? Right, look, let's get some more of these shoe throwers in, eh? Might as well. We'll get around to properly naming this lobster. We've got to tackle the important things today. This track's called Flashlight. It's by Winnie and Inja. It's nice bit of gear. Got a vocal on it. That's kind of cool. There seems to be a bit of a trade in vocal drum and bass at the moment, where the vocals are actually good. Because, I mean, try and name 5 good, and I'm excluding jungle here, 5 good vocal drum and bass tunes between 2000 and 2010. Go on, there's a little challenge for you. I'll give you Tally, Lyric on My Lip, but that's female vocal. Oh, all right, 5 male vocal tracks. Hotness by Dynamite? Maybe.
Strobe flashlight, flash flares up. I'll follow every signal cause I care enough. I ain't a guardian but I'll protect with bare love. Reverse lighthouse scenario, I'm there bruv. Morse code SOS, our life save trust. In the depths of darkness when it's dangerous. In the heat of hell when every flame busts. In Antarctica ice I'll make my way just. Shine your light. If you're out there on your own, shine your light. Need to find your way home, shine your light. We out there when you need to shine your light. Shine your light. If you out there on your own, shine your light. Need to find your way home, shine your light. We out here when you need to shine your light.
Yep, TC Deep, that is a good call.
Strategize the route correct.
Alright, I guess you could just name 5 Jake's tunes.
Lifeboat, life jacket on my safety net. Broad shoulders, strong hold, I ain't made pretend. Your safest option if you make the bet. Give or take, I won't fake or threat. I'll help you home if you ain't made it yet. I'm here to serve, so show your faith and then shine your light. Shine your light.
Look into it.
Shine your light.
I like the name Eddie Look Into It Lobster. That's good.
Need to find your way home, shine your light. We out here when you need to shine your light. Flares up, strobe flashing, flares up. I'll follow every signal cause I care enough. I ain't a guardian but I'll protect with bare love. Strobe flashing, flares up.
Oh god.
Strobe flashing, flares up. Morse code SOS, our life save trust. In the depths of darkness when it's dangerous. Shine your light. If you're out there on your own, shine your light. Need to find your way home, shine your light. We out here when you need to shine your light. Shine your light. If you out there on your own, shine your light. Need to find your way home, shine your light. We out here when you need to shine your light.
I think we'll have to do a poll in the Lobster Crew chat. No, the Lobster Crew Facebook group. So if you're not already on the Lobster Crew Facebook group, do join. There is a link in the description of the YouTube video. Shut up, BC. Yeah, join. Join me. Right, okay, what other madness have we got? How do Catholics have sex? This is from Rebecca Reed in the Metro. Rebecca Reed, who has brought us such articles as Can Women Take Viagra? Isn't it time we ditch the word gentleman? What is mindful sex? And is it a good idea? All right. Okay, well, let's dive into how do Catholics have sex? Welcome to a new series where we ask the question, how do people of different religions have sex? Have you ever thought the Metro was scraping the barrel? Yeah, who could possibly accuse them of such a thing? We'll be finding out how Jews, Mormons, Muslims, Hindus, Sikhs, and hopefully Zoroastrians have sex. No Scientologists in there. We'll be asking the same questions about each religion in an attempt to better understand how your faith can shape your shagging. This week, we start with Catholics. Okie dokie. Can you have sex before marriage? Nope. Abstaining from premarital sex is quite a big part of Catholic. Right, good, okay. That said, being a virgin is not a stipulation for being allowed to get married in the Catholic Church. Good to know. Before marriage, Catholics go to confession, where they're cleansed of their sins ahead of the wedding, and are able to take communion on their wedding day if they're having a mass as part of the ceremony. During this confession, a Catholic would be expected to confess any premarital sex, particularly the spicy, weird stuff, because the priest is gagging to hear it. And then all will be forgiven. It's great. I mean, being a Catholic's pretty cool, because you can basically behave however you want, do really awful things, be a right cunt to everybody, and then just go and confess, and then all your sins are absolved. What an absolute result. What a hell of a way to live your life.
Lobsters.
Can you use contraception? Another no. Catholics believe that using basically, Catholics ain't wearing a banger. Like, it's another great excuse. Like, you know, I mean, what are your traditional excuses for not wearing a banger? Don't got one. That's a good one. Oh, I get a bad, allergic reaction to the latex. That's a classic. It just doesn't feel good. I can't even sustain even a basic erection wearing a banger. That's another one. Or Catholic is yeah. There you go. That's sorted. Right now, you can just spread your seed and your disease as you please. That rhymes, and you know it does. Catholics traditionally have large families because they don't use contraception. Catholic couples who want to control how many kids they have are encouraged to use the rhythm method, which involves having more sex when the woman is not ovulating and abstaining during ovulation. Abortion? No. Anal sex? The jury is still out on this one. The Bible doesn't make it clear whether men and women can indulge in anal sex, though it does take a dim view of sodomy between men. Boo! I personally think sodomy between men is pretty cool. Online Catholic forums are split between people saying it's totally fine as long as you're married, right? And others saying it's sinful because it thwarts God's plan for procreation. Yeah, it's a kind of like a sort of fleshy banger, isn't it, in a way? But then just do it and then confess. Like, why does it even matter? Why even bother having rules if you can just, confess and make it all away? Just use contraception and then just confess. Oh, sorry, Father, I used a banger. Oh, sorry, Father, I'm on the pill. Or do you have to confess to each individual time you took the contraceptive pill, maybe? You just go in once a month and confess for all, 31 days of it. Homosexuality, another big no-no. Boo! Catholics suggest that if you're attracted to people of your own gender, you should practice abstinence, as marriage is only permitted between a man and a woman. Boo! And sex outside marriage is sinful. Boo! Just confess. Doesn't matter, does it? Go and marry whoever you want. Have sex with whoever you want. You know, as long as it's protected, consensual, sex with the lights off, under the covers, curtains drawn. You know, it's just, who it is not, as long as they're, of legal age and consenting, doesn't matter what gender they are. How sex positive are Catholics? Not fucking very. The Catholic Church sees sex as beautiful as long as it's between two people of different sexes within marriage. Boo! Next week, we'll be asking how Orthodox Jews have sex. Great, I can't wait to tune in for that. Fucking hell, Rebecca Reed. Fucking hell, Metro.
It's appalling.
It's pretty bad. What do you think, Jordan B. Lobster?
It's appalling.
No, you don't get attached to that name. It's subject to change at any point. Right, okay, let's... what was that one starting there? That was new BC, Back to the Street, featuring Philippa Hanna. I need $1. $1 is what I need.
I walk these streets and wash away my tracks. Feel like I fall right through these paving cracks. Oh, the waters rise, but I won't drown. Just hold my head above the water. For all your sons and daughters, I guess it's time for me to face the facts. Oh, I could fall right through these paving cracks. So I walk the line, no turning back. So I just keep on treading water for all your sons and daughters. Keep on treading water for all your sons and daughters.
This is a really nice tune. I like this. Nice, that's BC. Back to the Street featuring Philippa Hanna. Yeah, I'm into that. That's a nice bit of gear. That is a nice bit of gear. You put that drum and bass on when a lady comes round. That'd be absolutely fine. Whiner, diner, ask her whether or not she's a Catholic, if she'd be keen on using a banger or not. Just tell her she can just confess. No problems there.
Lobsters.
The Spice Girls announced reunion tour, and it's the news we've all been waiting for. Is it, Metro? Is it really the news we've all been waiting for? Not like, oh, an end to extreme poverty, or like an end to like peace in the Middle East, or a cure for, I don't know, a cure for hangovers, or they've cancelled Brexit. I mean, a lot of people are waiting for that news. But no, the Spice Girls reunion tour is the news we've all been waiting for. The Spice Girls are officially back together, except there's only 4 of them, so it's not the Spice Girls. It's some Spice Girls, proving once and for all that friendship never ends, unless you're Victoria Beckham. And honestly, this is the news we have all been waiting for. It's not. The wannabe singers, Jerry. Why am I even reading this? Why are we even here? Oh, how has this even cropped up in the simulation? Somewhere, some programming has gone awry. There's a bug in the system. It's coding herpes, and it's bad news. Mrs. Brown's Boys set to be axed. Yes! Next year with heartbreaking end for Agnes. Yes! Fucking come on. Mrs. Brown's Boys is getting axed. Mrs. Brown's Boys is getting axed. This is fantastic fucking news, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not even bothered about reading any of it. Oh, he's such a twat. This is undoubtedly one of the worst sitcoms that has ever besmirched the screens of British televisions. Oh, it's so bad. And he keeps winning awards, and it is a real stain on the gusset of British comedy. An absolute it's a real hole in the banger of British comedy. A real pustullating boil on the arse of British comedy. A real limp dick of British, a real tiny micro penis of British comedy. Can you tell that I don't like Mrs. Brown's Boys? It's like, hooray, the comedy of the 1970s, today! Go fuck yourself. Right, anyway. 50 Cent takes feud to another level and buys 200 front row Ja Rule tickets so seats will be empty. This is hilarious. Even more funny is that 50 Cent has done a little Photoshop of him sat in the middle of a load of empty seats. At what, to be honest, does look like a sports game, but, you know, what are you going to do? Yeah, they... I mean, again, I don't think we need to go too in-depth into this. I do think it's pretty funny, though. If I was mega rich, I'd do all sorts of stuff like this. I think I would spend most of my time just winding other people up with really expensive, over-the-top practical jokes. I think you could have so much fun. The world would be your oyster if you had like proper like Bezos fuck you money, like, you know, you just got billions. Like, yeah, I spent $1.5 million just pranking one of my mates. Like, what, really? Yeah, no, I organised like a flash mob of 30,000 people to come and to follow him everywhere he goes. They had to close down streets. We had to get the police involved. It's absolute anarchy. Yeah, I paid each of them a tenner to do it for an hour. from Mob Tactics, the shitbags. I tweeted them. I said maybe you want to go out to the park, go on the swings, maybe Sea Life Centre, be a nice day out. Nothing. People were liking it. Even fucking Lanky McBellend Head Prolix liked it. No response. They obviously don't care about their fans. They don't want to go to the park with me. They don't want to go to Sea Life Centre. It would have been a really nice day out. A really genuinely nice day out. You know, I'm not, it's not like I'm, trying to get in their pants or anything. Just trying to make friends in this sort of Neurofunk community, innit? Like, I ain't got that many friends and that. Just trying to sort of branch out. I think the tunes were all right and stuff. Thought, I'll just tell them, like, hey guys, like tunes. If you ever do want to go down the park, maybe get an ice cream or something. Be a cool day out, but they're not interested. They don't love me. It's fine. That's up to them. It's their choice. Sort of, that's the beauty of living in a, a liberal free democracy. But yeah, I'm not saying it doesn't hurt. Maybe I'll go and hang out with like Dimension or, Mind Vortex. Could do.
Lobsters.
I have sex with a doll 4 times a week and I'm saving for a sex robot. But my wife doesn't mind. All right, I'll do the jingle. Sex robot news, having sex with an inanimate object because you can't get a woman to fuck you. Sex robot news, sponsored by the Incel Clown Posse. Now, Mr. Merk in the chat was asking me on a message the other day that I've forgotten to reply to him that he wants an HD recording of that to use in the Telly Dildonics tune that he's making. I think you should rip it off the podcast or off the YouTube. I think that's more... that's the rules now, and they're my rules, and they're the rules. April is 153 centimetres tall with a number 36 head and is one of the 3 chesty latex sex dolls, costing $2,000 each, who James shares his life and body with. Wow. James is a 58-year-old engineer who has been married for 36 years and has a sex life which would be the envy of many men a fraction of his age. He also has a very understanding wife. Now, there was a documentary on Channel 4 involving this gentleman and his wife, and I will say, I'll be honest, his wife looked less understanding and more like she didn't really have a choice in the matter, and that perhaps she wasn't very well. 4 times a week, he slips between the sheets for sex sessions with blonde April, who looks like she is only just out of her teens. But April isn't his wife, and she isn't an extramarital affair. She is 153 centimetres tall with a number 36 head. I'm a particular fan of the 36, actually. I mean, I like the 35, don't get me wrong, but the 36, he really knocked it out of the park with that one. One of the 3 chesty latex sex dolls costing £2,000 each, who James shares his life and his body with, even taking them on dates. He's now saving for an £8,000 robotic sex doll called Harmony. We've heard of Harmony before, who can smile, talk back to him, and who will be responsive during sex. It's always nice to have something or someone that's responsive during sex, isn't it, James? James, put her down. James. Do you want to have a little looky at James? Yeah, you keen? Here he is. Oh, James, you are an awful man. I hate you, James. I hate you. There he is. Look at him. That's and that's not Harmony. That's a different one. Now, you'll be pleased to hear that the sex doll is made by our friend Matt McMullen of the Real Doll Company. He's created Harmony. Oh, no, he's created Harmony. That one is a different one. I think. There he is. That is him. Matt from Real Botics with Harmony. Looks like a fine, upstanding member of the community. His face looks a little bit like a Bo Selector mask. He has that sort of look that you can only get from having quite low quality plastic surgery. He's had a bit of work done, hasn't he? He's had a bit of work done. Right, should we find out more? His wife, Tyne, says she struggled at first with the other women coming into James's life while she was caring for her sick mother. Right, he's a real class act, this James. So your wife is caring for her sick mother, and you've decided to help by having sex with a sex doll. But it's now grown accustomed to them sharing his bed. She said if he really wanted to, he could have gone out and found someone else, but he didn't do that. He was true to me, in a way. James said, every guy has in his head the perfect girl, and this is what I see when I look in the mirror and see this look. Most manufacturers make them look something in the region of 20 years old. For a man of my age, it's a fantasy, because I will never be Brad Pitt or something like that. When I take April out, it's usually to a hamburger place. Christ, you take her out of the house together, where we stop and get a bite to eat. A lot of people don't even notice she's not a real breathing person. We usually have sex 2 or 3 times, sometimes 4 times a week routinely. It's amazing, like having sex with a real woman. The biggest difference is whatever position you want them in, you have to put them in, as they will not get there on their own. Doggy style is not a problem because their backs flex to whatever position you want. Every guy knows what it's like to slap a woman on the butt, but it's not unlike the real thing. Man, this is truly harrowing stuff. The sexual aspect of doll ownership is a very small part of it. I feel weirder about that. Like, if the sexual aspect of it was the only part of it, I'd feel like that's still weird, but it's not as weird as you taking it out for a fucking burger. What you find more pleasure is from in the long run, is looking after them, dressing them, putting on their makeup, and interacting with them. I feel deeply for her, more deeply than I could have ever imagined. Oh God. In San Macros, California, Mac McMullen of the Real Doll Company and the associated business Realbotics have been racing to create robosexuals, dolls with artificial intelligence and more interactive sexual functions. Oh God. Oh dear. I don't want to live here anymore. That's it. Stop the world. I want to get off. Please. I don't like this ride, Mummy. Mummy, I don't like this film. Turn it off. Mummy, I'm scared. Oh dear. Right, come on. A few more of these. Where we got? This is Enai, I think is the correct pronunciation. Well, at least that's how I heard Noisia pronounce it on their done radio show that they done do. It's called Just One Look, featuring Charlie Bricks. Good old Charlie Bricks. Lobster, I love you so.
feet. Just one touch is enough to make me weak. I'm in too deep.
Yeah, this is nice. This is Just One Look by Enei featuring Charlie Blix. Ah, Charlie Blix, what you do?
Is all it takes to make me fall at your feet.
Yeah, that's nice. Someone in the chat, Mr. Merkin Fact, is saying Enei remix of Jump by Current Value. That sounds good. Play that next, maybe. I've got it loaded up. Bit of fun, isn't it? Right, look, there's some good bits here. Here we go. Let's all just ditch Tinder and follow this 1950s advice for getting a husband. It's solid advice. It really is. Finding someone you fancy spending the rest of your life with is tricky. Tinder is an endless pit of disappointment, despair, and dick pics. No dick pics on Tinder. You can't send dick pics on Tinder. You can't send pictures. Every decent person you know is already coupled up. You try going speed dating, but you'd already had to go. With 60% of the attendees. All right. So why not give up the faff of modern dating and follow this 1958 magazine's advice for landing a husband? There is some choice bits in it that definitely do apply today. Where to find him? 1. Get a dog and walk it. That is solid advice. Get a dog, walk dog. Where other people walk dogs. You'll talk to people who have dogs. You talk about the dogs. It's a good opener. Have your car break down in strategic places. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's a little bit creepy, but yeah, why not? Attend night school. Take courses men like. So that'd be courses about like chopping wood, wrestling bears, drinking craft ale, smoking pipes, that sort of thing. Join a hiking club. Okay. Look in the census report for places with the most single men. Nevada has 125 males for every 100 females. That's super weird. But okay, yeah. I mean, if you're going to really commit to something, do it properly. Again, if something's worth doing, it's worth doing in excruciating detail. 6. Read the obituaries to find eligible widowers. Yeah, okay. The old console and slip, sure. Take up golf and go to different golf courses. All right. Take several short vacations at different places rather than one long vacation. Fine. Sit at a park bench and feed the pigeons. I don't know about that one. I think that sort of makes you look old and weird. Take a bicycle trip through Europe. You'll sure find a husband that way. Guaranteed. Get a job in a medical, dental, or law school. Right, yeah, okay. Become a nurse or an airline stewardess. They have very high rates of marriage. Some excellent circular logic there. Ask your friend's husband, who is an eligible man in their office. All right, cool. There are some good ones. Don't be afraid to associate with more attractive girls. They may have some leftovers. Oh, God. Go to all reunions of your high school or college class. There may be some widowers there. It's very keen on the trying to bag of widowers. Get lost at a football game. There's another one somewhere, just like... How to let him know you are there. Stand in a corner and cry softly. That's what I would be doing now. Just in a corner, looking at memes, softly, just softly crying. And if you're going and doing it in another corner, we're never going to meet. Maybe we could send each other memes while doing it. Have your father buy some theatre tickets that you have to get rid of. Oh, God. Carry a hat box. How to let him know you're there. Make a lot of money. All right. Yeah, cool. Learn several funny stories and learn to tell them well. But make sure you don't tell him more than once. Walk up to him and tell him you need some advice. Drop a handkerchief. That still works. Wow. I mean, yeah, they didn't fuck about in the 1950s, did they? Getting a husband was pretty damn important back then. I mean, it's people have realised there's more to life these days, but buy a convertible. Men like to ride in them. I mean, I think it would have been quite the scene in the 1950s just to have a young woman in a convertible sort of ride up to you. I don't know, waving a sort of lacy glove or something. Hello. I don't think men would really have known what to do with that. Learn how to bake a tasty apple pie. Bring one into his office and bring one into the office and let the eligible bachelors taste it. Laugh at his jokes. That will work. Accidentally have your purse fly open, scattering its contents all over the street. Send him a dick pic. Oh, no, hold on. Stick to your moral standards. Don't be too fussy. Don't whine. Girls who whine stay on the vine. Hey, that's a good bit of advice. God, there's 129 of these. Go to Yale. Get a hunting license. If your mother is fat, tell him you take after your father. If he's fat too, tell him you're adopted. Stow away on a battleship. Rent a billboard and post your picture and a telephone number on it. Fucking just dox yourself. Sink at a fashionable beach at high noon. Ride the airport bus back and forth from the airport. Oh, God. Stand on a busy street corner with a lasso. Ask your mother to take in male boarders. Make and sell toupees. Bald men are easy catches. Advertise for a male co-owner of a boat. Don't marry him if he has too many loose buttons. Let it be known that you're in your office that you have a button box and will sew on bachelors' loose buttons. But don't marry him if he has too many loose buttons. It is hard to strike the balance with loose buttons, isn't it? You know, a loose button here or there, it's kind of endearing. 7 or 8, psycho. Yeah, it's difficult. It is difficult. I do like the idea of stowing away on a battleship. You're definitely going to encounter a lot of eligible men at that point. Clip and mail him a funny cartoon. That means something to both of you. Don't tell dirty stories. Stop being a mama's girl. Don't let him think that you have in-law trouble. Wow, yeah, incredible. Point out to him that the death rate of single men is twice that of married men. Effectively threaten him with death. Great, what a time to be alive. All right, this is Current Value Jump Enei remix. I've not heard it before, so fingers crossed. Could be a she throw from left field. Who knows? People in the chat got some good suggestions. Cut the brakes. Chat up the emergency responders. So I posted the link to that story in the chat. It is gold. Oh, drum and bass farmer in the chat, calling this a Yeezy Yeeter. That is a beauty. That's my new favourite. I'm very pleased that all these beautiful golden threshold jumpers and hoodies for the Lobster Crew are now here and will be going in the post as soon as the show finishes. If you didn't get a chance to get one, I'm sorry for you. I feel bad for you, son. I've got 99 problems, but a gold threshold jumper just ain't one. We'll be doing some more limited edition merch very soon. Hell, maybe even next week. Who goddamn knows? This is an absolute Yeezy Yeeter. This is the Enei remix of Jump by Current Value off Current Value's Biocellulose album on Critical. I didn't even know such a thing existed. Seems that Current Value's just been putting out about 10 tunes a week over the last couple of years. This is from 2016. Wild shit, man. Right, strikes me as a pretty decent fucking time to shout out the VIP list. It's the list of bad motherfuckers supporting the show and the station as a whole on Patreon. If you want your name on this list, get on Patreon. There's a link in the bottom of the YouTube video and on the website. And you can get your name here to be shouted out every day. It's Nicholas Goncalves, Tom Ryan, Reece Mosson, Squidgy Beats Parsons, Pauly Hutton, Ciarán R, Michael Kedzierski, Matthew Tomkins, Dave Long, Joel Potter, Colm Murphy, Sam Howard, Tony J, Richard Patterson, Jack Murphy, Tom Camm, Stephen Harris, Mattieu Boulard, Zara Pickles, Jeroen Van Thunderbutt, Mike Pye and Anthony Walker. Bunch of bad motherfuckers if ever I saw a list of bad motherfuckers. Yeah, that's Jump by Current Value, remixed by Enei. Woo! And I should tell you all that tomorrow on the show I will be joined by Holland's only drum and bass producer, Posse. He'll be in, chatting shit, telling us about his hopes, his fears, his dreams, telling us about getting arrested for having long legs in China. It's crime punishable by death in a lot of countries. It's a tricky situation. Well, look, I will be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. Without any of the tech issues shenanigans of this morning. My advice, just don't update anything ever. Nothing, just live in the past. Stay desperately clinging onto the past with your nails being torn out of their cuticles. Just cling onto it for dear life. Never accept the future. Never. But okay, looks like it's working now. Although we weren't even broadcasting on Threshold today because I was too terrified to fuck up the live stream. Anyway, look, thank you very much for listening. You're